Hello, my royal lovelies. Welcome back to the channel, and as always, welcome to my home. So it's been a moment since I posted a video. I've just been feeling like I've not really wanted to post a video over the past few days. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to just sit down and have a little bit of a heart-to-heart with you guys. So there's going to be no fancy editing in this video. It's just going to be me sat down talking to you about how I feel about what's going on in the royal family, and of course Harry and Meghan, the mock sort of quasi-royal Nigerian tour. So this tour did not spark joy for me at all, and one of the things that I have been trying to do in my professional life, let's not forget I have two channels. I have my Royal Reviewer channel, where I talk here about the royal family, which I've had for almost 10 years. And I have my lifestyle channel, where I post weekly vlogs about what I get up to in my private life. We do show home tours, and there's also some travel thrown in as well. So I am very busy. My time is very precious, and I like to spend it doing things that are worthwhile. And one of the things that I said to myself back in January was that I wanted to do things that sparked joy. I wanted to, make things that I feel proud of. And one of the things that I found that I've been quite proud of is the ability to make music. So I have been trying to make some music here on the channel. Yes, there have been sort of Harry and Meghan diss tracks mainly, but I've enjoyed the creative process, and it's kind of made me feel a little bit more fulfilled as of late. Whereas perhaps I haven't been feeling as fulfilled on this channel as I once did. And I think that has a lot to do with the royal landscape completely changing from, the time of Her Late Majesty, sort of prior to Meghan joining the scene. It's completely different. And, I like to feel fulfilled in whatever I put out. So I found a little bit of joy sort of going back to being creative and making music. I am working on making a full album of songs, so I'm probably not going to drop any more tracks, but if you do want to listen to the tracks that I've already made, there is a playlist. So you will eventually be getting almost a proper full royal themed album, not just songs about Harry and Meghan, but songs about Her Late Majesty, Princess Diana, all the royals, Catherine, William, everything. So that's one thing. So the royal tour did not, the quasi-fake royal tour did not spark joy for me at all, and therefore I have been procrastinating, putting off making a video about it. I've been reading all about it. I know what's been going on. I've made notes of things to talk about, but it hasn't sparked joy watching basically ex-working royals making a mockery of kind of what they used to do, making a mockery of monarchy. And the one thing that I have been very defending of is the preservation of monarchy. To me, that overrides everything. Monarchy is bigger than just Harry and Meghan. There is over 1,000 years of history when it comes to the British monarchy. I mean, that's one of the song titles that I've got on my album is called 1,000 Years and More, and it's a track that's going to be all about how, the monarchy has survived over 1,000 years. It's bigger than just the characters that are on the stage in the present day. Harry and Meghan are just a pin speck in that 1,000 years of history, and I'm pretty convinced there will be 1,000 more years of history going into the royal family, despite Harry and Meghan's best efforts to harpoon it, which is what I think this was. So it kind of almost, broke my heart watching them projecting themselves in that kind of way as they would have done as a working royal. Purely because, like I said, I think it makes a complete mockery. And the UK government has made it quite clear that Harry and Meghan have not been representing the UK or the UK government or the royal family, that it has been a trip on their own private capacity. But that didn't stop Harry and Meghan for trying to milk it for all it's worth. For them, it's all about PR, and this is what I mean about making a mockery of it. The royals do it to represent a country for good causes, and Harry and Meghan are just self-serving, and that's what this was. It was just a self-serving PR exercise. Nigeria obviously want to host the Invictus Games. It was done under the guise of, Invictus, the army, invitation of the army, blah, blah, blah. But it was timed and executed. There were so many parallels to a royal tour. The meet and greets, the walkabouts, the dressing in national clothes. I said in a previous video that we'd see Meghan dressed, and Harry dressed up in national dress and all the rest of it. Of course that happened. Meghan was definitely, playing up to the cameras. It's exactly what she wanted, and I didn't want to see her getting exactly what she wanted, because I just think it was horrendous that anybody was giving them that platform. So I didn't feel the joy. The spark of joy was not there for me to cover it, which is why I've decided not to post any photos or anything of it. I'll talk about it, but I'm not gonna project that image any further across the world stage, because I don't agree with the way that it was done. If Harry and Meghan wanted to go to Africa to learn more about her Nigerian heritage, when she's claiming as well previously that she's Maltese. I didn't even know about that. Apparently, I watched a video where she said she was Maltese. Well, Meghan is whatever it suits Meghan to be at any given time. Whatever she thinks is going to give her the most advantage. I mean, she used very similar parallel sentences in her speech when she was claiming she was Maltese as what she did, when she was talking about being Nigerian and coming home, and the language was all very, very similar. So it's rehearsed, contrived waffle, word salad at best. So yeah, Meghan was in her element, and I don't want to give that breath, to be quite honest. I'm trying to think of, all the different things that made it like a quasi-royal tour. The itinerary, private people are not normally invited by the government and then have, a reception that's almost like a national reception. All the welcomes. It was all very royal tour, don't you think? Wearing the national dress, the playing of the national anthem that looked incredibly awkward. I mean, did we see Harry? He was very stiff and rigid, whilst God Save the King was being played. Meghan had that kind of Stepford wife look up across her face. Ugh, it was just absolutely dreadful. And then you get to the irony of the security issue. Nigeria is, placed by many countries in the world as being a dangerous place to visit. But yet Harry and Meghan are saying that they can't come to the UK because the UK isn't safe, but yet they're quite happy to go to Nigeria. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It was just absolutely horrendous. So yeah, I didn't really want to give it much breath. They have claimed, well, they kind of hinted that, there could be more tours of this nature. I think the Sussexes will have gone home thinking that this is a success, that everything went without a hitch. I think one of their aides did kind of say to a journalist, that everything had gone smoothly, blah, blah, blah. In terms of the itinerary and how things ran, yes, it did. But I think on the world stage, they have got themselves in a bit of a tizzy, because they found themselves in between a rock and a hard place, which is, I think, where the royal family and Her late Majesty the Queen foresaw things going. And that is that people see it for what it is. They are ex-working royals who are still technically royals, trying to still be royal, even though they're not working royals officially. And it just looks ridiculous. It looks like they're trying too hard. I mean, we could drill down to, each of these points and drill down even more. But it's just completely ridiculous. It didn't spark joy for me whatsoever. what Meghan was wearing. I mean, the one dress she had on, it was that much too long on the floor. And then I think, I don't know if her wardrobe altered from what the plan was going to be, because I think one of the Nigerian ladies sort of said, oh, you should wear more colour. And therefore, Meghan then came out wearing a little bit more colour than her normal bland, beige, wrinkled, baggy, swampy clothes that drag on the floor, that aren't fitted properly. And then there's the jewellery. I mean, I think she was wearing simple pieces of jewellery, apart from those big, massive beads. But when you totaled up all the jewellery, it was like over $700,000 worth of jewellery, not to mention the Cartier tank watch and all the rest of it. When, that's a country where that is like a lot. I mean, it's a lot of money in most countries, but it's even more so in Nigeria. So she's there sort of, flashing off the wealth and sort of coming in like Mother Teresa, like Saint Meghan from up on high, who's decided to grace everybody with her presence. Oh my goodness, let's just hope there isn't any more tours. And then, when they are obviously back home, we have the news about Archewell with it's been classed as being delinquent. So I've got a bit of information about that. So I think even more came out overnight. So apparently there has been a missing cheque. So Harry and Meghan are claiming that they, obviously with company accounts, you have to file your company accounts every year. I think that's pretty much the same for whatever country you're in. In some countries, it's public. In some countries, it's not. I think Harry and Meghan file their company accounts in Delaware, which means that things aren't as transparent as in other states. Yeah, I wonder why they've done that. Harry and Meghan not being transparent doesn't sound like them, does it? So anyway, you're supposed to file your accounts. That's how you pay, tax and all the rest of it. So to keep your company open, you have to supply documents and you have to pay a fee, that kind of thing. So Harry and Meghan are claiming that they did send off the paperwork and a cheque to cover those fees, but it got lost. Anyway, so apparently the charity has now, they've been issued with a letter which has banned them from raising or spending any money through the Archewell Foundation, which is now deemed as delinquent for failing to pay fees and submit the records. But Sussex sources insist the payments were lost in the post. Really? Lost in the post? So the organisation is not in good standing, according to the Registry of Charities and Fundraisers in California, where the couple live. Okay, so this is, I think, Californian state rules, actually. The registry said Archewell failed to properly submit its annual report or renewal fees and has banned it from either fundraising or distributing charitable funds for now. But Sussex sources insist the paperwork was filed on time, with a discrepancy down to a cheque which accompanied the document going missing in the post. Well, if they received the document but not the cheque, you would have thought that if it's accompanied it, that the cheque would be in the same envelope as the document. So if they got the documents, why didn't they get the cheque? So that's not stacking up to begin with. They also maintain that a new cheque has been mailed, which should mean the issue will be quickly resolved, but the revelation will likely cause embarrassment. And then there is a copy of the letter saying that the company has been delinquent. A new cheque has been mailed. We anticipate this will be quickly resolved and reflected in records within 7 business days. So watch this space. It does sound suspicious, especially as the Archewell Foundation has been receiving far less in donations than what it did in its first year of setup. I think originally it was like $12-13 million, and then it went down to 2. So 2 million is still quite a lot of money, but it's no way near the 12 that they kicked off with, and no way near the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales, as they are now. I was about to say of Cambridge and then corrected myself to of Wales. So Archewell is, floundering more than what it was when it began. So I don't think the issue is paying the fees. I think they've got the money to pay the fees. I think it's just bad accounting. I don't think, they're more obsessed with hiring people for their PR and communications rather than hiring good people who can actually take care of their accounts. I certainly don't think that, Harry and Meghan popped the check in the post themselves. So my advice would be to hire, decent staff who can actually take care of it. I don't think it's to do with the money. I think they've got the money to pay the fees. It would be pretty embarrassing if they didn't. I think it's more to do with lack of care, lack of duty. Harry and Meghan, as we've said before, couldn't organise their way out of a paper bag. So, trying to file things on time is definitely going to be completely beyond them. So watch this space. Let's see if Archewell will be able to function within 7 working days of receiving that check. To conclude today's video, I think that I'm just glad the tour is over, to be honest. I didn't really want to cover it. I don't particularly want to speak about it again. But if you do have any questions or comments, please leave them in the video description. If there's anything that I really have missed that you want me to touch on, I will address it in an upcoming video. But I think for now, it's time to get back to the real working royals. Let's not forget, as I started off with this video, the monarchy has been going on for over 1,000 years. And Harry and Meghan are just a very, very tiny, small part of it. We have so many working royals. We don't have a lot of working royals, but we have so many other royals that are doing official royal duties, not just playing dress up or playing at being royal, to talk about. So thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media. And of course, do hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.